Well, at the hungry heifer, well, we won't give you a bum steer. What are the humans doing?
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pic on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their virtues with a pic on their profile. So if you think you're ready and you don't need more proof, conspiracy deniers are denying the truth. They fabricate our problems and pretend to provide the best solution, but we all know they lie. They lied about the weapons and they lied about health. They lied about the fact that they're transferring the wealth. You should really notice how they're pushing the fear. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. Yeah. Everybody's not thinking clear. Keep everybody terrified. Yeah, can't do nothing. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. When you do, you realize that this is a trick. It's getting really stupid now. They're taking the mic. Said, do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies. But no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pic on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their virtues on their profile. Hey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have got a very interesting batch of Sasquatch shields here tonight. I've got Third Coast Cop Watch backstage. I also have AJOT, and I have a number of other people restreaming with me, which is absolutely fantastic. But we're going to talk to each one of them in sequence. And Michelle, I can't see you. You're going to have to show me something, some kind of something. And we're going to get to the whole thank you part of it. So we got one Miss AJOT. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Are you even present?
I was muted. No, we're.
Oh, oh my. We also have Third Coast Cop Watch back here, and we're going to get to him in more detail here in a few minutes. Just want to thank both of y'all, and yet again, Michelle. Until you find a camera, I can't, a light or something. I'm not. We're not. I'm sorry. That's just the way it has to be. Welcome to YouTube. I'm streaming on multiple channels. Of Porn Bomb take everybody down. We're not having that stuff happen, not even by accident. So, got anything you want to say before I put you back in the hole, AJOT?
Toodles. I'll see you after.
All right, baby. Appreciate it. Okay, so I've got a little doohickey I do over here. It's from Captain Curmudgeon. He did this maybe a year and a half ago, and I come across it earlier today, and it just tickled me pink because, well, I find it humorous myself. So let's get this off the screen, lined up on that one.
If you got yourself a nice ripe cantaloupe and you took a Sharpie and you painted a smiley face on it, maybe a mustache, maybe some glasses, and then you stuck a wig on top of it, possibly a hat, who knows? Would the average Democrat voter vote for that cantaloupe if it was on the ballot with a D next to its name? I think after what we've witnessed these last two elections now, we've got no other recourse but to surmise that the answer to that question is quite emphatically yes. And I trust I haven't been too on the nose with the fruits and vegetables metaphor here, because for the record, I did say mustache and not goatee. And I gave it a wig. So nobody can accuse me of constructing that entire analogy just to make fun of His Excellency, the Senator-elect from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Mr. John Fetterman. But since Mr. Fetterman's name just came up in a totally organic, non-premeditated way, let's take stock of where we are at this, the most embarrassingly absurd moment in the entire history of American politics. A lot of people were disturbed, and not without good reason in my judgment, when a man got elected president in 2020 who campaigned mostly from his basement on a webcam, who was very clearly suffering symptoms of rather advanced dementia, who clearly had lost several steps and at least 10 miles off his fastball since he was in his prime, back when he could take pride in being universally regarded as the dumbest guy in the Senate. And many of those same people were disturbed, and rightfully so, by the fact that the person elected to the vice presidency seemed even more clueless and more inept than the 78-year-old dementia patient with one foot in the grave who had been selected to be on the ticket with her. Not because there was any prospect of her doing anything useful during her term in office, but because,
okay, Michelle,
well, her dad's Jamaican and she's got girly bits between her legs. That's how we pick our vice presidents now, because God bless America. And that was all pretty bad, but now we've seen a man actively suffering from brain damage elected to the U.S. Senate, a man who has difficulty completing one coherent sentence in his own native language.
All
Michelle?
Right. Better? Ah.
No, I can't see you at all. I took a little bit of a risk.
All right, hold on. How about now? Dang it.
No, you're a black screen.
All right, hang on.
I'm going to go ahead with the show, and we'll get back to you when you figure it out, okay? Much love. Woof.
Who may yet prove incapable of reciting his oath of office when it's swearing in day. And perhaps, maybe, if we're offering maximal benefit of the doubt, you could justify it. If John Fetterman was some noted intellectual with a track record of achievement who just got knocked off his feet temporarily by an unfortunate medical issue, and shit, never mind senator, I'm still having a bitch of a time figuring out how this guy got himself elected lieutenant governor, like, of a state. So he was the mayor of Braddock, which, as I understand it, is not an incorporated town. So mayor is more of a ceremonial volunteer type position, you know, like how Johnny Grant used to be mayor of Hollywood, except Fetterman, astoundingly, he somehow managed to utterly wreck the place anyway. So the guy gets himself elected lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania when he's a guy in his late 40s, a man exactly my age, who quite literally had never had a real job before. It still hasn't, unless you count lieutenant governor as a real job, which, I mean, come on. Have things ground to a halt in Pennsylvania since lieutenant governor missed 7 months of work from medical incapacity combined with cringe-inducing campaign appearances? His absence probably has had about as much impact as when Mayor Pete took 4 months off to stay at home and chest feed the twins while chasing Broadway show tunes in the background. Or at least that's how I picture it.
Explain how this is supposed to go.
I bet I'm not too far off, though.
All right, so I'll pop you up so you can have your own fist fight with me if you want. The idea here is that multiple channels restream the show about Third Coast Cop Watch, and then after dark everybody comes up and we all chat about the horrible cop interactions I found amongst y'all's content.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
I'm gonna set you backstage. You set up the title and everything however you want it, and we'll be back with you right after the show. Okay. Awesome. Hey, bud, how you doing? I know this is all
How are you?
confusing, and I'm sorry, but it gets like this sometimes. This whole multi-streaming thing is sort of a new thing, and we haven't worked out all the wrinkles on it yet. Hopefully, I'll be able to edit most of this out. Anyway, so tell everybody who you are. Let's do the thing.
I'm Third Coast Cop Watch. I'm located in Grand Parish, Louisiana. I started doing this because I started receiving multiple reports of police corruption and misconduct in this area, and something had to be done about it now. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm doing it.
Awesome. That's fantastic. I'm trying to figure out how to put us back in the right spaces. Maybe moving my stuff around. That's not the right one. I got a better one. That's what we're supposed to be doing, is this thing. And then I have to make my thing bigger so I can see all of it. And then everything can be horrible. All right. So you started your YouTube channel in response to witnessing corruption yourself.
Yeah, this is throughout my life. I used to be on drugs. I used to be on the street, and I used to be homeless. And while I was living that life, I noticed some things I was doing wrong, but there were things that the police would come do to me. They would clearly violate my civil rights, and I didn't know what I could do about it. So since then, I educated myself a little bit, and I found a place where I could vent and I could expose them.
Fantastic. That's transparency is really where I kind of plant my flag. That's the hill I'm willing to die on. If it's done in the public light, I really don't think that a lot of the things that are being done would be done if it was done in a transparent fashion. But there's so much backdoor cover-ups and stuff going on, and it's in every single small town in America.
It is.
Every city, every department, every police department, everywhere has at least one or two assholes in the batch that are sitting around making side jack on some weird hustle. And you find it everywhere. If it's not the cops themselves doing it, it's the cities giving them a quota. So they have to pull over X number of people in a given month, you know? And none of this does anything to give the citizenry a feeling of confidence in their public services.
It doesn't.
Right. So tell me this: do you trust a med tech from the emergency system?
Yeah, I trust.
Would you trust a fireman from the emergency system?
Yeah.
Would you trust a cop from the emergency system?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
not. That's all I'm saying here, dude. All right. So you got your most recent video up here, and you're basically explaining how you've gone through, you've filed complaints, you've gotten FOIA requests. You have done the FOIA request, right?
Yeah, I just received yesterday open records request back from my first video. There was 2 cops in my first video, and it was pretty juicy.
Yeah, we're getting to that in the very next one. We're just trying to cover some groundwork. And you've been doing this for what, about 6 months, a year?
Yeah, something like that. For first couple months, I was getting a little advice, from other channels. Truth be told, was helping me. And then when I felt confident enough, I decided to go out there, and my first one just went completely bad.
Right. If you're coming in from his channel, from what I understand, the thumbnail from that's from your first Cop Watch.
Yeah, most likely. I'm not sure what he has.
Looked like you're being tackled. Looked like you got the ball. Is what it looked like.
That thumbnail I borrowed from Google. I don't really know where it came from, but I thought it looked cute, and it kind of.
It is. That's what I said right off the top. I'm like, shoot, I'd use that for my freaking avatar. That would be a great thumbnail. That's awesome. I love it. Hey, Blue Unicorn, welcome to the show. All right, we got a whole pile of people in here, and there's about 30 people watching right now. And I usually do a gold and silver and whatnot, but I'm not sure if it's going to let me actually go that far back because it is rolling over here, bud. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so Ghost Eagle gets the gold, Brandon Mitchell gets the silver, and Heather Holt gets the bronze. Welcome to the show, folks. We got Let Me Audit You, Heather Holt, Blue Unicorn, anti-Jack, anti-at-Jack. Dude, hop on a panel after the show, and I'll talk to you, and we'll see whether we can do a mod status for you. I don't just kind of toss them things out. But yeah, if we're going to do much of this type stuff, I'm going to need some super mods, like no joke, for reals. Because I see where this is going. Because usually I have about 10 people in, and there's been hovering around 30 the whole time. So it's working. Whatever it is we're doing, it's working. And you've sent me a whole bunch of documents. I've got maybe 14 different FOIA requests, responses, different complaints lodged and whatnot that you've documented. So you're doing the good work. You're doing the groundwork that it takes to do this kind of thing. Do you see yourself advancing into like more of an auditing type circumstance of doing businesses and establishments, or just like guerrilla cop watching? Like
I think down the road I'm going to encompass more of everything into it. Right now I'm just kind of following a path that this incident on this first cop watch has kind of led me down. And through this path I'm finding large amounts of corruption with this department. I've interviewed several people that have totally, I don't know how else to describe it other than grotesque stories of what the police have done to them and their family. I'm talking about, I don't want to say too much, but
don't compromise any part of what you've got going on.
But a lot of it is unlawful stops and seizures. They'll do an illegal stop on a vehicle, and if the vehicle has cameras in it, they'll steal those cameras out of that vehicle, and then they'll tow the vehicle and take the driver to jail on whatever charges. So then the driver will be in jail, and they won't be able to deal with getting the cameras back or anything else like that.
Okay. Sometimes it's easier in situations like this to sit down with the available lawyers that if you know any. I mean, I'm sure you do. Everybody's had to deal with at least one within their life, right? Yeah. And go over in detail your local statutes and whatnot. Now, statutes are one thing. When you're dealing with constitutional law, that's kind of a different basket of worms. So sometimes it's hard to get a constitutional lawyer to take a case because of the source of the case. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Have you had any success getting involved with a constitutional lawyer?
I have been in touch with several civil rights lawyers, a couple large firms, and I had another smaller firm just the other day reach out to me and tell me that they'd like to contact me whenever these cases are resolved. So.
Right. Well, that pretty well covers that part. This is generally the place where I go into the funny segment, right?
All right, let's go.
Fair warning kind of situation.
Yeah. Now,
which one was your first upload? Was it the cop watcher illegally arrested or failure?
Yeah, that was my very first video. That's a cherry. Right. That topped everything there.
All right. And it really starts getting, you pretty much get spicy right off the rip.
Oh, yeah.
Now, before we do this, y'all are aware that Sasquatch is not just a Sasquatch and not only a YouTuber, but he's also a paleontologist.
You know about cars? Yes, I'm a paleontologist. Oh, it's okay. There's dynamite in this bag, too. I am a paleontologist. I'm a paleontologist. Paleontologists study really old stuff.
Like crackers.
Because bad memes are funny.
They are funny. I like it. Study really old stuff. Right? Okay, so that's your first video. And pretty much out of the box here, they get pissy with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're just talking. They ain't working. I don't answer questions. Nope.
And they break up like they was having some kind of a bad meeting, like they wasn't supposed to be there.
I don't know what they were doing. They weren't working though. I don't answer questions. Name and badge number. Name and badge number.
Driver's license.
Name and badge number, sir.
Driver's license.
Name and badge number.
Driver's license.
I'm not required to ID. Name and badge number.
Oh, this dude's got it good. You can tell by the look on his
Can you
face.
speak it verbally for the camera?
I need your driver's license.
I need your name and badge number
I just
verbally
gave
for
it
the
to you. It's
camera.
on the camera. It's on my
Name.
business card.
I need it for the camera. Name and badge number.
What are you doing out here?
What if I can't
I
read?
don't answer questions. Have I broken the law?
Yeah, you're parking on the left shore of the road.
Hello, unindoctrinated. Welcome to the show, bud.
So are
I'll
you.
be out with a white male that just walked up.
This dude has found an absolute gem of a cop. This guy jumps out of the car hot, straight for the ID.
Name and
It's
badge
like a
number, sir.
superpower.
These guys are a ball. You refuse to give me a name.
Yeah,
and
it just
badge
popped
number?
up. You got it.
Driver's license. Give me your driver's license.
I don't answer questions.
Okay, that's not how this works, Fred. You don't just
No,
roll
that's
up
how it
on the
works.
side of the road and just start filming us and refuse to identify yourself. That's not how this
Yes, I
works.
do.
That's not how this works.
I can
okay?
refuse to identify. It's my First
No, you
Amendment
can't.
right,
Not
sir.
in the state of Louisiana.
Yes, I can.
You're not going to walk up to a police car and just start filming it and make yourself into a situation and not identify
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
yourself.
whoa,
If you
whoa, whoa. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Did homie just say that filming is the situation? That's what he said. That's exactly what that man just said. That man said that you filming is the problem, so we're now going to ID you.
Oh yeah, this goes all throughout the video.
Oh my God.
I definitely
you
will.
put yourself into a situation, you're going to identify yourself, okay? So I need
Hemp
you
hill.
to identify yourself, okay?
Hemp hill.
I just need you to identify yourself.
No, you don't.
Yes, sir.
No, you don't.
Yes, sir. But where are you from?
I don't answer questions.
Where are you from?
I don't answer questions.
Why? Why?
I don't answer questions.
Why? Why are you being like this?
Well, the cop hasn't ID'd yet either.
Sir,
For all I know, he's a clown that bought a uniform at a freaking Dollar
This
General.
is
I don't
Officer
know.
Hemphill. He seems to think I have to identify myself when I haven't broken the law.
why did you come up? Why did you
And
pull
it
up
really doesn't matter how weird you are.
and walk up to my patrol vehicle just
What's up, New York Outcast? Good to see you, bud.
I can. I don't have to
Unindoctrinated.
answer
I think I've
questions.
already saw you.
It's my First Amendment right. I don't have to do that.
That's really weird. Nightbot's doing stuff, but it's not in my chat. Nightbot doesn't love me.
film us and just refuse to leave.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. This is public.
He's in everybody's chat.
So are you telling me I have
Excuse
to
me.
leave a public area? That's what you're telling me I have to do.
Like,
And if I don't leave, what's going to happen?
well, I'm gonna tow your vehihand.
You're
I
going to
know.
tow my
I
vehicle.
know. I'm being intentionally
You're
dense.
gonna park your vehicle and leave it in that right hand shoulder of the road. I'm just trying to figure out why you parked your truck.
I'm trying to figure out why my workers are sitting here talking and they're not doing their jobs. That's why I'm doing this.
Okay,
It's
first of
also
all,
not
you're
illegal to be
your
an
worker.
asshole.
You're my
by
worker.
the
No,
way.
no. You are definitely my worker.
Let's get that straight first.
Officer
I do
Hemphill.
not work for you, okay?
Officer Hemphill, come on now.
Do not ever. I work for Stephen McCain, okay?
Officer Hemphill says he does not work for us.
You do pay the taxes that help pay my salary, but I do not work for you. I am not.
That's right. I'll
I'm not
pay your salary.
employee, okay? Okay. So you do not pull up here and say, "I'm wondering why my employers are."
You are my
people
worker.
sit-" I'm not your worker. Okay. Let's get that straight right now. Okay.
Okay. I do kind of feel like that might have been approaching him with a distinct boy kind of attitude to it. Because I'm from
I don't
Georgia,
answer
I'm
questions.
pretty much not permitted to use the word boy in common vernacular because it sounds so racist. And calling somebody a worker, I could see how someone, but it's all ego. It comes down to ego. It's not illegal. It's to be an asshole is what it comes down to.
They got butt hurt.
They got butt hurt because they were sitting there doing something they didn't want you to see. You filmed it. Now they're mad. Right? That's what it looks like to me.
Questions.
Oh my
It's my First
God.
Amendment right not to.
I watched a
I'm
few
sorry,
minutes
my
of this
Fifth Amendment
earlier.
right not to answer questions. I'm sorry.
you do live in the state of Louisiana,
I kind of like this guy.
where you are required to identify yourself when you're subject to a law enforcement investigation. Okay.
Investigation of what?
Investigation.
You put ticket upon yourself to
You're investigating a camera filming you?
I believe so.
all the way around
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly what he's
And so
doing.
now you've asserted yourself into my business.
Absolutely.
I didn't pull you over. I didn't.
I'll move it for you. I'll move the car for you. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to.
So I'm gonna move the car for him.
So you are now officially detained.
Identified. So
I'm not sure yet because he says later that he's detaining me at that point. So
you can leave and like do whatever you want to do, and you can send your video to Town Talk KOB. I don't care who you send it to.
I don't answer questions.
I just would prefer you identify yourself. So I just find
Prefer.
it kind of strange that you just
That's good.
walk up to a police
What's up,
car
Toe?
and
Good to see you, bud.
filming me. I find it
Yeah, I'm not answering questions today.
You gotta love Scottish. Scottish one is efficient.
like I said, he walked up to me. He will not provide me with his name.
True say he still identifies as a tackle box.
Can you send a picture of his
He hasn't identified any crime, any infraction. He specifically stated out loud that the reason he's investigating him is because he showed up and started filming with a
I don't
camera.
answer questions.
exactly.
That is the reason for this
I
investigation.
already told you it's my Fifth Amendment right.
any reason why?
I don't answer questions.
Hey, West Side, welcome to the show, bud. Adar. This is wild, dude. Like, he got backup for a camera. He's already got one other guy there. Now he's got another one.
Oh yeah.
Are you fixing to clean out the police department over here with your camera? Is that what just happened?
It looks like that's what's going to happen.
That's action. They haven't seen action in weeks.
Oh, they don't get none of this out there. They have complete control.
No, they don't have to tell you RES, but they do have to identify. And while handing you a card may do well enough for your lawyer, individuals might not be able to read. And I'm not trying to nitpick too terrible hard on particular details like some people out there. Yeah, Mexican one here. Appreciate it. But a whole bunch of hypothetical maybes and what fors aren't going to change the fact that, as far as I can tell, he walked up to two public servants sitting on the side of the road being weird, and they got angry about him being weird. And it's not illegal to be weird, and it's not illegal to film them, and there's no crime here to be investigated other than the fact that the cop seems to believe something has happened. But he can't define what, he doesn't know why, and he's just going to investigate until further notice, and that seems somewhat unlawful to me.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm sorry.
had you been trying to leave or do something else? And so that's as it may be, but they were definitely being weird. They were blocking the way to get through.
Exactly.
And parked in the middle of the street. Oh yeah, I didn't notice that part. I think you're right. I was wondering exactly where they were pulled up on the side of the road at.
Yeah, this is something they do all the time out there. They'll block up that passway to get over, and good citizens can't get past there without causing a wreck sometimes. And I pull out from that street right there all the time, and they're blocking it. Sometimes there's only enough room for one car to get through when there's two cars coming.
I don't know. I think maybe it's them leaning on their emergency vehicle a little too much. Because just because it's an emergency vehicle don't mean what you're doing is an emergency.
Exactly.
You know? So maybe there was some reason to block the road, but it'd be nice to know, especially if you happen to live down that way.
They didn't have any lights on.
All right, let's see what else he got to say about it.
Would you like to take it down?
Why did you go to this extent on spending information for you to provide us with your name?
I needed that for legal reasons, Officer Hemphill.
I'm just curious why.
I don't answer questions. 1927. 5430. Texas
It's the
driver's
Bat
license.
Mom. You know we made it now. Once Bat Mom
I
shows
don't
up, you're
answer
big
questions.
time.
How long have you lived in Louisiana?
I don't answer
That's
questions.
another citable offense. It doesn't matter to me.
I don't answer
Okay,
questions.
because you're living in Louisiana.
It's not citable, and I got a certain amount of time. It's not citable.
And you go to jail this day, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is like a 45-minute video.
Yeah, it is. It
And
is.
they hold you on the side of the road at most for just what? Being weird?
Yeah,
was
I
it
guess. I mean,
filming it?
I guess so. They couldn't come up with any arrestable offense.
That's absurd.
They're just mad because I caught them on camera.
Just caught them loafing, not doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Blocking the road.
For all we know, they had perfectly legitimate reason for being there. But if they did, why couldn't they just be like, oh, yeah, we're blocking the road because there's a Girl Scout camp going on down the street or whatever? I mean, it'd be very reasonable to just be like, here's why. He doesn't have to. I get that. But at the same time, you don't have to either. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Louisiana is not a stop and ID state.
It is a stop and ID state, but they can't stop you for any reason. They
have to have something.
Suspicion of a crime or something. They can't just stop you and ask you for your
So let's
ID.
see if we can find some suspicion of a crime here. Possibly colluding. We do have two people in gang uniforms out alone by themselves, parked on the side of the road.
Yeah, let's investigate.
And they do seem to be surrounding you and threatening you with some level of physical violence. Well, this seems like a dangerous situation. I wouldn't want to be there.
It was pretty terrifying.
I imagine so. This is your very first cop watch. So do you think you maybe went a little hard on your first one?
Man, you know what? Sometimes I go over it, but I can't say I did. I just can't say that because what this cop watch led to is a treasure trove of other things that I found out these cops have done, and this would led me to file that open records on these two cops. And through that, I found out all kind of stuff, and through talking to other people that seen my video, it's led me even more stuff I can investigate. So I'm actually glad I did this.
Right. I guess that makes sense. I'll be honest with you. I don't rightly have the balls to go and do this. I might do it locally, but I won't film it. Generally because I don't think about it until after it's done. But, I know most of the cops around here to some extent or another. For the most part, what's up, Matthew? For the most part, I haven't had any real problems with cops around here. Of course, I don't get out much. So that might have something to do with it. So I don't have any particular problem with cops in general. I have problems with bad cops. I hate to see a corrupt cop, and I hate to see a perfectly honorable profession be dragged through the mud by assholes who want to exert power over people, by freaking hall monitors who were offended in high school and want to take it out on the general public.
That's right.
That's what I hate. Right?
That's right.
So,
That's right, man.
I mean, if you're willing to go out there and have the conversation that needs to be had to set the precedent that needs to be set, I mean, do that thing. If it turns into a situation where it becomes more than one can bear, sell out, fuck it. What are you going to do? Because there comes a point where people reach their limit, and the type of tactics these people employ are absolutely life-breaking. Official misconduct recently was released from her employment. And before they released her from her employment, they changed out all of the security guards that were working the location to off-duty cops. And that's kind of a creepy thing to have happen, to be involved in something negative against the cops and then to suddenly be surrounded by off-duty cops all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that's weird.
Illegal? No. Intimidating? Possibly. I would go probably on that because it seems a little much. And I might have left that job a little quicker than maybe she did myself. Because, I don't know, lack of confrontation benefits life to an extent. But you got to do what you got to do. And I can at least honor the fact that you're doing the thing that needs to be done. Whether any change comes from it or not, who's to say? That is for the future to tell. But we can hope. And it's channels like yours that actually give me that hope.
Thank you.
And that's totally why I do the kind of thing that I do.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how else to help. I've been through so many nasty situations with different channels scamming people that I just don't send people money. Yeah. If I ever meet you in person, I might hand you some money, but I'm not going to mail it to you, and I'm not going to put it on your Cash App, probably.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing here now. I appreciate this. This helps phenomenal.
Yeah, I hope so. The idea of a sort of a weird syndicated show helping the concept of transparency. One of the things you got to look up to Florida about, they have something called sunshine laws. There's pretty much no such thing as private public information. If it's available publicly, it's available publicly. If the cops have it, you have it on the AP immediately after. That's why Florida Man's a thing. And I love it. And that's what every single department in America needs, is more transparency in every case.
Yeah, definitely.
So what would you say would benefit this particular batch of cops? Is there any way to train them out of this behavior?
Well, yeah, they definitely need training. This department here only gets 12 weeks of training before they're put out on the street, that's egregious, and it's outrageous for them to get this small amount of training and get put out on the street to dictate other people's lives and have the ability to destroy them at whim. And I feel like that's crazy. And another thing that can help these cops is accountability. This department does not hold their cops accountability. I mean, I got a list of complaint forms against these two cops, and nothing has ever happened to them. I don't even know if they got a reprimand, but I'm hoping this here, a little bit of publicity, will get these two cops accountable for their actions. And that's what I'm hoping here for today.
Fantastic. That is exactly what I want to hear. Because, I mean, it does no good to file. Well, I guess it does do good to file complaints. It does. It at least creates a paper trail. Are you familiar with ATL audits?
Oh, I need to go to their channel. I don't know if I've been to their channel or not.
Okay. Well, it's not a huge whoop. He does. I don't know, I would call him an auditor at all, really. He's done a few audits, but he had in something that happened involving the school and a school cop, a school resource officer. And in attempting to file a complaint against the school resource officer, he ran into a black hole in Atlanta of no one is over the school resource officers. There's no one with command over there. You cannot file a complaint against these officers because they're not actually a part of any department. And so in order to file a complaint, apparently you have to go to the officer and give it to them or something. And it's absurd. That's absurd.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he just happened, supposedly, according to them, just happened to find a gap in the system where they don't have any accountability. And he's been to the GBI, the FBI. He's been to, I wouldn't be surprised if he went to the marshals if there's an office in Atlanta. He's been to every single Atlanta district, every single police station, everywhere he can possibly go. He's had signs removed off the outside of the building to prevent he himself to allow himself to film these meetings that he's doing. And those first handful of meetings were real hairy too, bud. If you want to see some tense talking, he's the one I told you sounded angry all the time.
Okay.
He go look at some of his earlier videos when he's not quite sure what he's doing and he's still trying to work it out. Now he's kind of an old hat at it. He's figured it out.
Would that be a Tater Tots ATL?
No, just ATL.
Okay.
Kind of a balding dude. Looks angry.
Let's see if I can find it real quick. Kind of looking.
Kind of Jewish, you know. Which link is bad? Third Coast Cop Watch link at the top of the page. That's no good.
Oh, is it?
I hope not, because that's supposed to be up there. I also got you linked in the description, and I haven't found anything to do with donations or merch or anything like that with your channel, but I guess you haven't gotten that far, have you?
No, I'm getting to the point where I think I'm going to have to put a Cash App up there or something because these open records requests and my legal fees that are coming are getting high. But man, I'd hate to ask the viewers to try to donate money because I try to do all this stuff for free, because it's something I really feel within me that needs to be done. But I think I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to put a Cash App up there or something. But I'm not quite there yet.
What link am I supposed to be giving to you, AJot? I don't understand. I'm so confused. I've got like 5 chats running over here, and I'm starting to lose my freaking monkeys. There's almost 50 people in here. It's rolling. That's nuts. Okay, so let me explain it to you the way it was explained to me. It doesn't matter whether anybody donates to you or not. Put the Cash App up because at least that way they have the opportunity to do so, right? If they support what you do, they can send the money and never have to explain anything to anybody. It's just there, Yeah. In your case, like some channels would be, getting money for a particular reason or for a particular nonprofit. In your case, it's going to be legal fees.
Yeah, definitely.
I about guarantee it. I'm sure it'll buy a pizza or 2 here and there, but legal fees is going to be an issue.
Oh yeah,
unless you can hook up on his About page. I don't think he has a Cash App to put on his about page, but yeah, you're almost up to 1,000 already over here.
Oh wow, okay, that's great. That's great. Thank you for your help.
That's the whole purpose of all this. Now I'm gonna give you fair warning. This is something that happens when you get a huge surge like that. And you get more than 10 or 15 subs in a given day. About half of them fall off unless they go watch your content. A comment, stuff like that helps it stick. I picked up 5 or 10 subs last night from a short that I dropped, and they were gone by the time I woke up this morning. Every single one of them.
Okay.
So I kind of feel like YouTube got the thumb on the scale, but okay. This is why we do the restreaming aspect here. I'm going to call it the syndicate. Yeah. It sounds more sinful that way. And they're still going on, dude.
Oh, yeah.
They should have just ID'd themselves and got back in their car and left, but they're still fucking with you.
Oh, man, they could have just put a parking ticket on my window and walked off. They would have looked a lot better.
They would look better, yeah, but they probably wouldn't have got the additional fees out of you. I'll bring you in. We could talk about that whole thing. You got it on camera where they broke it? Because, yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff I like covering. I like getting down to the meat and drink of an encounter. Like you're doing a really good job in this video. You don't get upset. You don't get angry. I don't believe I heard you cuss one time.
No, I think I
if you did, I missed it. I mean, oh no, they've already decided they're going to go heads on. They're waiting for enough people to get there to overpower you.
Oh, but they're slick about the way they do it.
Yeah, let's get him to 1,000, y'all. He only needs like 4 more. Thank
you definitely for your help.
Absolutely. And I appreciate everybody that's restreaming. We got Michelle's Mobile Media. We got Truth Be Told Audits. We've got American Justice of Texas, AJOT's Corner. And there's another one. You're also streaming to your channel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's a cool feature. That's something I really like about the new setup of StreamYards is letting me stream these to the guest channel. That's really handy. Used to, I'd have to download it, edit it, and then send it to you through Google.
Oh, wow.
Then you'd have to upload it. Yeah.
This is nice.
This is way better. Way better. Fantastic, Shirley. That's cool to see. 999. We've almost got it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to dig real deep. You dig all the way to the bottom of your profiles, pictures. Go get your kid's phone and subscribe to him. I mean, what's one more sub amongst friends, right? And it would really be cool for your channel to end up monetized as soon as possible, because that might possibly alleviate some of the legal issue, the monetary legal issues. Because here's the thing.
I'm hoping.
Chances are when you get to court, it's going to immediately be thrown off. You're going to be handed a plea bargain, and they're going to ask you if you'll take it. And you have to not take it. You have to take it to trial, and you have to have 12 people tell you that you're wrong for filming a cop.
Oh, it's going to trial.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And we got you at 1K there, bud.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your help.
I really should have a yay thing over here for a sound effect. Hey, Jot, you got to remind me to do the yay thing, some kind of celebratory something. I don't believe I have something. Only thing I got is this crazy crackhead on the steps. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? I'm very confused. I was in here messing around with stuff yesterday, making a short, and I moved all my stuff around. So, like, oh, there it is. No, it's not going to do it. Okay. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Kind of depends on where you stick it. Hi, boring. What is a boring sandwich? It is a boring sandwich. And every time I see that, I have this flash through my head of, hi, boring sandwich. I'm Sam Squatch. And I'm not Sam Squatch. I'm Sasquatch. Who else popped in over here? Hey, Eddie. Welcome to the show, bud. We'll pop you up here in just a minute. We're just about there. All right. We got one last little bit to cover. I want to see the where they do the surrounding bit. Because they're fixing to fold in on your ass. Because you're leaving. You're just walking away. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They're just letting it happen. This is fine. You get in, drive off.
Now right here, they start
Suddenly you're attempting to flee.
No, they dismissed me. They told me I could go, that I'm zeroed out, that my license is good, no warrants, and they sent me on my way with a warning.
Fantastic. So a warning for what? What was on the warning?
A warning for parking on the left side of the highway.
So you ended up basically with a warning for the ticket they could have written you?
Yes, and I asked them if I was going to get a citation. They told me no, just a warning. And I told them thank you. And I get on the road. When I turn around and get on the other side of the highway, I start noticing one of the cops following me, and they followed me all the way to the store, and then I ducked into the store. And at that point, they continued on. And then you'll see later on in the video what happens next.
All right. We're kind of sideways. Oh yeah, no, you're watching the cops now, ain't you?
Yeah. I'm not doing good phone work or video work here.
That's fine. We'll get you a dashboard mount directly, and it'll be solid gold. I promise.
Thank you.
It'll happen. You just got to be patient, man. None of this shit happens quick. What's up, Tyrant here, Muse? Good to see you, bud.
See, they're following me right there.
Yeah. They let you walk away and then turned around and pulled you over. Did they ID you when they pull you over, or did they just give you the warning?
Oh well, no. When they stopped me at by my house, which is coming up, there was no ID or nothing. It was just an arrest. Here it is, right here. I'm on my neighborhood street, about 50 yards from my house.
Crazy. This is also weird.
See, I see him pulling out of my driveway when I pulled up, and that's why I put the video back on.
This is absolutely batty. And there it goes. All right, just to make sure I'm understanding exactly what I saw. I watched through it earlier. You walk up and find two cops having a conversation. They decide, all other things aside, that what you're doing is strange and unusual and decide to investigate. You answer no questions, did not provide ID. You later walk away from that scene, get in your truck and drive home, and then they pull you over to give you a warning for parking on the wrong side of the road.
They gave me the warning before I left the first situation. This is my second encounter with them where, you see what's going on now.
Right.
charges are aggravated destruction of a highway of commerce. That's a felony, carries up to 15 years in prison, along with several misdemeanors: flight from an officer, obstruction of public passages, resisting an officer. All these charges are fabricated. They are fabricated on me by the Grant Parish Sheriff's Office for exercising my constitutional rights, for recording them in public. Right now, in my hand, I have a Section 1983 civil rights lawsuit that I will be filing shortly.
Seriously, did your vehicle get towed out of your old driveway or from like
Yes,
right
it did.
next?
And that was the whole point of me proceeding to my driveway, because these cops are already trying to tow my vehicle off the side of the road. They told me that. They told me they had a record on the way when I was on the side of the highway. So when they put the lights on me, when I was just 50 yards from my house, I decided for my own safety to continue on to my driveway to try to save my vehicle. I knew these cops were crooked. They were dirty, and I didn't know what they had up their sleeve. I just knew they were trying to get my car. So I wanted to secure it in my driveway so then there wouldn't be any legal reason for.
And they did it anyway.
They did it anyway.
Jeez. That's straight up lawfare, man. That's what that is, lawfare. But you're using the system to impoverish you to the point where you can't stand up for your own rights. And that is despicable.
Oh, it's terrible, man.
No part of none of that. What's up in New York, Outcast? Good to see you, bud. There's so many people in here. I can't say hi to everybody, but I can give it a shot. Let's see. We got Let Me Audit You, Shell's Mobile Media, Truth Be Told, Fire Phoenix, Tyrant Hunter News. We got A Boring Sandwich, Nightbot, who's everywhere you want to be, Terry Barker, Wayne Restule. I don't know. Say what? Here, you figure it out. How's that said?
Restule.
Okay, good enough for me, man. Might not be good enough for him. We got Howard County Observer in here. Good to see you. The Bat Mom. We got Fab Daddy 44. Ghost Eagle is in the house. That's good to see you, bud. All of you. Boa Omega showed up, and he was here in his alter ego earlier, which is cool, unindoctrinated. Well, I love each and every one of y'all, really. We're going to be wrapping up the show in just a minute. But before we do, I want you to take it. What's up, Manic Mouth? One of the best cowardly lions I've ever seen. We did a live reading of the Wizard of Oz a couple of days ago, and it's on Scully's House of Thrillers channel. If anybody is interested in such a thing, where I was Professor Marvel and the Wizard of Oz. Maybe a munchkin or two. I don't know. I can't remember. I got drunk right after, so what can you do? But I'm gonna bring you up to big screen. You tell everybody what your plans are for the future and how you hope to turn out with all this. Because I wish you the best, man. I really do. Because I don't think, at least as far as what I've seen on your channel, I haven't seen you do anything that's illegal. Weird, unusual, possibly offensive, but not illegal. Okay, exactly. Parking on the right side of the road might have been a little silly.
Yeah.
But you got the warning, and the arrest was just trumped up. There's nothing to it. I'm surprised they didn't try to get you with a felony fleeing on that one.
They hit me with misdemeanor flight from an officer, and they used that charge to tow my vehicle for the 50 yards I can continue on to my driveway.
Right. Fantastic. The biggest issue you'll have dealing with cops is their ego in almost every case.
Definitely.
You find the right button. Here we go. Give it to them, bud.
All right. I just want to say in that last part of that video, I felt all alone out here. I felt all alone. I got a hold of Truth Be Told, and Truth Be Told said, we're not going to let this happen to you. And Truth Be Told is the one that put this video out there for me, for everybody to see, and I want to thank him for that. What I want to do down the road is I want to continue on with this Grant Parish investigation I got going on. I want to expose all these dirty cops, because this corruption in Grant Parish goes all the way to the top. It goes all the way. And I want to bring that. I want to bring that to an end. I want to bring that to an end. I want every citizen in Grant Parish. I want their rights to be respected, and I want the corruption in Grant Parish Sheriff's Office to be exposed. And that's what I'm shooting for. And then when this is done here, I'll move to other parishes. Right now, I'm working here.
Excellent. So you're not planning on traveling and covering other locations? What if you happen to clear this whole bit up? What if you end up in a wandering hippie situation where you've already covered all the local places and it's become a bit of a suspect situation locally?
I do have several other parishes in Louisiana on my radar, and I will be hitting them. Soon, maybe in the next couple of weeks. I don't want to put them out here because I want them to know I'm coming.
Yeah, no, don't say that like that.
If you're corrupt in Louisiana, I'm coming up to your parish.
Magnificent. All right, but I'm going to drop you backstage, do my little talk out, play out. When I come back, I'm bringing everybody that's here back up. Okay?
Great.
So we'll have us a big old time. I appreciate you coming in. It's been tons of fun, and I appreciate access to your videos, brother.
Oh, no problem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of Sasquatch Shills. It's now going to end on everyone's channel except for mine. The After Dark section of the show is going to be on some of the worst encounters I've seen from previous guests, and I think 2 others that have had issues with cops, and we're going to do that whole thing. Ajot, if you will, please drop my channel's live stream link into the StreamYard so that it goes everywhere. And we're going to have this play out for about a minute and a half. I think, if I get the right one. That's the plan. That's how this is supposed to work. Eventually, I'll have all this part of it ironed out, and we'll actually know what we're doing, right? That's the idea anyway. Do you remember if it's the You Missed Us or new outro? I can't remember.
Sorry. Good news, though. We're going to have to move the party somewhere a little bit more private, but you're all invited. Lorenzo will give you the details. Yeah!
Hey, she was a cutie in a sundress. I told her I just had to confess. I got a crush on you, darling. Them long tan legs got me falling.